Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Millicent. I am a singer, songwriter, performer, mom, entrepreneur, among other things. I'm back on YouTube so I can share my musical journey with you guys. I'll be sharing all things music as well as the lifestyle it affords me. If you would like to follow my mommy content and just follow me in general, my social medias right here. I do have a mommy series on IGTV called Mommy and Millie, and I co-host a Twitter Spaces every Sunday called Single Mommy 101. Single Mommying 101. Sorry about that. I kind of ate up those words. But yeah, without taking any more of your time, let's get into today's topic. So today's title is very self-explanatory. I used to have a job and now I don't. But it's not as terrible as it sounds. So I'm just going to get into the whole story and explain to you guys what has happened to me in the past 6 months of my silence and, my personal growth and everything like that. So it has been an incredible journey. I mean, some of the times I look back and I'm just in awe. I just can't believe what is going on in my life. In November last year, okay, not even November last year. Let's start from when COVID started. We all know when COVID started, a lot of people were affected, and I was definitely one of those guys. We got pay cuts immediately. Like they gave us. You remember when we got into the first lockdown, level 5? That month, the day after, that month, we got pay cuts. Like they're just like, it is what it is. Like no one's paying us, so we're not paying you. And I was forced to now get into a situation where I have to make do with much less than I'm used to receiving. And they obviously said that it was just going to last 6 months. And, after 6 months, we're going to go back to normal. But that never happened. And obviously, at some point, the savings, they dwindle away. And now, by the time I got to November, I was out of savings and I was just now in autopilot. And I remember asking God, I'm like, God, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I can't do this. Please help me. Intervene in any way that you can. Like, I can't keep doing this. I don't know how I can stay afloat. I can't do this. And I remember that time I was even contemplating letting my maid go. But at that time, it was really hard for me because now I didn't know. I need to work. But there's no way I can work with Marty in the house 24/7. And if I don't have a nanny, he has to go to school. So either way, you're just going to have to pay for Marty's daycare. So at the time, yeah, that's when the whole issue with my nanny happened. If you haven't seen that video, it's there on IGTV where I explain how my nanny was texting my man's telling him to break up with me and that I'm cheating and yada yada. I don't know what her intentions were, but go watch the video. I'm not going to get into that. So yeah, at that point, that's when that happened with my nanny and she was removed. So that wasn't one less bill to worry about, but I still had rent, I still had food to worry about, I still had Wi-Fi, I still had, all these expenses that we have. And I reached my ultimate low. And all my life, I've always depended on myself. I've always known myself to be a hustler. I'm like, you know what? I can make do. I can always make a plan. But at that point, I was just so down. I had tried everything. I was trying freelancing. I was trying getting gigs. I was trying making music, and none of it was even working. But I didn't even understand why. So I was at my ultimate low, and I was just so stressed out, like November, December period of my life. And I reached a point where I literally was like, Jesus, take the wheel. And at that point, I was just like, I can't do this. I can't keep up with these expenses. I can't keep doing this. Like, I don't know what kind of life I'm living right now. So Jesus, you know what? Just come in and just take over because I can't do it anymore. And at that moment, I let go. And it's crazy, but I've never done that in my life. I've always depended on myself. So after I let go, it's like I did feel a load lifted from my shoulders, literally and metaphorically speaking. And it didn't all happen all at once. But from that time, I just started changing. I just started focusing more on my spirituality, focusing more on me, the things that I want in life. I even introduced journaling, vision boards, and everything. I just started focusing on the journey that I want my life to be and not dwelling on what was going on right now. And I started making lists of where I want to see myself, what I want to do, and that really helped me. And I started reading the Bible. I started watching sermons. I started just feeding myself, feeding my soul. And that changed me. I'm not going to lie. That changed me into a completely different person. And I remember around New Year's time, I decided to do my resolutions for the year properly. I had never done it properly, and this time I decided to do my resolutions for the year. Resolutions. So I started pinning down my resolutions, and I didn't do it all in one day. So I'd put them down and I'd put whatever I'm feeling on paper, and then I'd pray about it and ask God, help me, send me signs, show me if I'm on the right path. And in that process, I think it was a process of about a week or two, I started getting strong feelings to leave my job. And this is in January, and that was crazy. And I'm like, that's the devil. If I leave my job, it's literally the only thing sustaining me. I've tried everything and it didn't work. So how you gonna tell me to leave though? But the signs became stronger and stronger. There's actually a week when almost every single sermon I would watch, and I would do this thing where I randomly pick sermons. I'd be like, you know what? I feel drawn to you. Let me watch you. Every single sermon talked about that story when Jesus walked on water. And it was talking about the story in a different way. And I'd never really heard of this way that people talk about it. Obviously, it took faith to walk on water. But for Peter to walk on water, he had to get out of the boat. And I think 3 out of 5 of the sermons I heard that week were about getting out of the boat. I'm not going to lie to you. It was crazy. I obviously went through the most, and I didn't want to tell anyone, because now I'm like, who do I tell that during COVID I want to leave my job? I have my son to worry about. What am I going to do? I have me to worry about. I mean, hey. So I obviously had I had this battle for a few days until I accepted, and I was like, you know what, God, if you want me to leave my job, I will. But I'm going to set a date and plan ahead. I'm not just going to wake up and dish the atom. So I wrote down in my diary, and I had my calendar, and I remember putting down May 31st. May 31st was going to be the day I submit my resignation. So I was going to stop working in June. June was going to be the month I leave my job. So I put that in paper. Good, we're good to go. So I started now looking for other ways for me. And I was like, okay, maybe I should start applying for other jobs. But no. I was put off other jobs. I don't know. I just had a feeling, don't apply for new jobs. And that was crazy, because now I don't even know how to explain it, guys. It's terrible. Every time I'd want to apply for a new job, it just, yeah. And I was told, I just kept getting inclined to focusing on myself. Focus on your music. Focus on your dreams. Focus on the things that you actually want to do. And in that moment, in January, I went back to freelancing. I went back on all the platforms I had used before, and they weren't successful. And I hadn't been even signed up for 2 days before I started seeing an inflow of orders. People are asking me to sing on their tracks. People are asking me to do voiceovers. People are asking me to do BVs for them. I was just so overwhelmed. I remember January, there's a week I was just working every day. And now, I have to work nights because I have a job during the day. And it was so hectic. And I remember, and that was the first time I ever made $1,000 in a space of a week. And I'm like, okay, God, I see you. I see you. Is this what you're trying to put me on? If this is what you're trying to put me on, I receive. Amen. And this stuff just started working, guys. And I did tell you I had tried it before, but it just didn't work. So I do not know what the difference is. The only thing I can say is the difference from now and then was basically my mindset. And January, I also started putting down ideas for my business and growing it. And I also started getting customers for my business. And it's not even launched yet. Even today, it's not even launched yet. And I've serviced a couple people. We've been servicing people. Somehow people always find me. Now, so my journey now from January until now was just crazy, guys. There were moments where I'd just be like, jokes. I'm not leaving my job. I know I'm getting money on the side, but I'm I'm not leaving my job. It's consistent income. I mean, why would I do that? And every single time I had that thought, without even 3 days passing, Peter, walk on water. You are not going to walk on water unless you get out of the boat. And I remember even telling Bay, I'm like, this verse is haunting me this year. It is absolutely haunting me, and I don't know what to do about it. So anyway, I started pushing freelancing. We worked. Come May is the month I'm supposed to give notice. So it was early May. It was my birthday, and it was a few days actually before my birthday. And I just decided, you know what? I know I said I'm going to leave my job in June, but it's not feasible. I need all this income. Like, I'm not going to do that. So I went to bed and I'm like, you know what? Nope, I'm not going to do it. And I wanted to go. That was before I actually went to bed. And then before I went to bed, I'm like, you know what? I haven't read my Bible in a long time. Let me pick a random chapter and just start reading it. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, read Hebrews. Because Hebrews, I don't know, I've never read Hebrews like that. All of the time you start trying to read your Bible, you start from Genesis, Matthew, all these common verses. And guys, what I read in that moment, like the first thing I read, when you open your Bible, I'm actually going to read it to you. And this was a few days before my birthday. I'm just going to open Hebrews. I hope I can find Hebrews very quickly because, yeah. Because it would be so embarrassing if I can't. So anyway, I almost found it. I just flipped past it by mistake. So while I find Hebrews, what happened was, so I started reading it from my Bible. I hardly ever use my Bible, actually. I usually use my app. But then I just decided, I need some background on what Hebrews is about. And this is the first thing I read when I opened this Bible. Have you ever second-guessed yourself on a major decision and wondered if you have made a big mistake? Literally, at that point, I was like, you know what, God, you're speaking to me. I hear you. I'm leaving my damn job. It's fine. It's cool. 2 days later, it's my birthday. I was off. I call up my manager. I'm like, yo, manager, I just want to warn you that at the end of this month, I'm submitting my resignation. So me doing that was just me affirming myself and just, making the decision final because I was in and out for a very long time. And then she's like, okay, Millicent, no, I wish you the best. What are you planning on doing? I tell her my plans. This is what I plan. She's like, no, I wish you the best. So I'm low-key shocked. I'm like, this woman cannot be this happy to leave me. She's not be this happy for me to go because I am a star employee. Like, why is she so happy for me to go? And then my birthday was on the 4th. I went back to work on the 6th, and then they held a company meeting. And as soon as we got into this meeting, they announced they were retrenching. They are retrenching my department. And they're just going to leave one person. So they did assure me that they are highly considering me for that one space that's left, because obviously I had a lot to do with the starting of that department. So, okay, so they're offering me to stay, but they're retrenching everyone else. Right. That was the predicament I was in. So now I got back home and I'm like, God, is this a sign for me to not leave my job? Because I don't understand. You tell me to resign. I tell my boss. And then, I'm not understanding what's going on. So in that time, around that time, right? So I had always used my work stuff for my freelancing. So the only things I actually really owned are like my microphone and stuff. But my computer was from work. And I really wanted a good computer, but I didn't want to break bank. And in that moment that they announced retrenchment, after obviously my back and forth of, am I supposed to continue or what? I then realized that maybe this is my opportunity to get that money for my laptop that I really wanted. And so without even thinking about it, my manager called me up. She's like, oh, you said you wanted to leave. That's why I wasn't asking you to stay on, because we knew we were going to let some people go. So do you want to take voluntary retrenchment and get a package? I'm like, I'm in the voluntary retrenchment crew. You mean? And so I took it. And then we went the next month discussing terms and conditions and yada, yada, yada. Also, there's some kind of exodus that then happened after that. Like a whole lot of people just got jobs and people just left and left and left and left and left. But it's still a flourishing company, by the way. It's still flourishing. I'm very proud of those guys. Those guys are nice people when they want to. So, yeah, fast forward to now. I literally finished. I think my last day was like on the 21st of, no, the 18th of June. That was my last day of work. And I actually managed to raise the money for my laptop on my own without even waiting for my package. That's one thing that I realized that, wow, God is great. God is greater than everything. Now, you know what? He's just set me up for this journey that I'm about to embark on. And it's crazy. It's exciting. It's crazy. But I am so thrilled. I'm not even going to lie to you. I have passed the stage of being scared. And because, I mean, I have no control over my life. So it is really crazy for me how everything unfolded. It is absolutely unbelievable because I could not have foreseen that retrenchment coming. And to be honest, I sometimes look at it as like I was forewarned because I was so prepared for this. So I wasn't even scared. I wasn't even gutted. I was just like, okay, come at me with that package. Because as much as they may have wanted me to stay, I don't know how long I would have stayed for because COVID did the most, y'all. COVID really did the most. So I'm just really grateful, like, for everyone who was on that journey with me. I mean, and just didn't judge me, because sometimes when I would say it out loud, I'd like be very scared that people are just gonna be like, God wouldn't ask you to leave your job with the, it was just like, it was crazy. And I went through so many different emotions. But by the time that I actually had to leave my job, I was amazingly accepting of it. I was ready. I have not been ready for anything in my life. So with that being said, now I am now a full-on entrepreneur who can focus on like the stuff I'm passionate about. And that mainly revolves around music, which is why I'm back here. And now I have somewhat the time to do this, and also help out other musicians in finding what they need to find, doing what they need to do, plugging each other, and yeah. So when you guys see me release music and songs, and you find a way to support my little businesses, go ahead and do that, because that is now my sole source of income. Like, you would be doing God's work. So with that said, I do have a song I released on the 4th of May. It's called Next One. Go check it out. It's in the music video section on my channel. Support, support, support. I think when I shot this video, I was almost on 10,000 views. So if you're watching this video and you're curious, go and see how many I've got now. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'm going to be bringing a lot of different stuff here, and I'm going to cater a lot for musicians as well, and also show my life to people who actually follow me and follow my music. I'll be bringing in behind the scenes, how I make music, the platforms I use to make money, things like that. I'll also be showing you guys my new home. I downscaled a little because, I just wanted to keep the bills within. So I moved apartments. I also colored my hair blue, y'all. You can go see on Instagram. There's some pictures there. Yeah, my boss was like, you're totally going through some kind of breakup with us because no one does this. But I did that. And yeah, I'll be launching my music market very soon. So if you're an artist, you're a musician like me, doing anything to do with music, the artwork, the production, the actual vocal, songwriting, you should watch out for that and just follow Lioness Music Market, because it's going to be amazing. I know it's blessed by God, my guy. You can't go wrong. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I have to love you and I have to leave you, but I will see you in the next video. I am praying for consistency to come down upon me, and that I can be able to post videos very regularly for you guys, so that you can keep in touch and you can see how it's going. I will try to be as honest as I can, because there's some things when you're living the way it is, sometimes you can be overcome by worries and stress and whatever. But I just want to show you guys how it is to be living as an entrepreneur, a music mogul to be, and starting out from scratch. I thank you all for watching. I love you. Make sure to subscribe and follow me on my social media platforms. I'm gonna keep you entertained.